Hello, everyone. I am MK.
And I am Coach Sammy Love.
And we want to welcome you guys to Level Up Podcast.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. I almost was about to sing. I felt it right here.
You looking like Mariah Carey over there.
Oh, come on here, Mariah Carey. Oh, just give me the vocals. All I'm asking for is the vocals, baby. Hey, everybody. She over here cutting up, y'all. Go ahead and do us a favor, you guys. Tag some people in. Y'all know how we do. Tag 3 people in, okay? Tag 3 people in. Let them know we are on, you guys. Please share with all of your followers. That is what I'm doing right now, too, as we speak. So that way I'm not telling y'all something that I am not doing. So please go ahead and share. Tag some people in. Let them know we are on, you guys. I really believe, as we always come up with some topics, y'all, it'd be very powerful and just it'd be mind blowing sometimes too. Even the stuff that come out of our mouths. I know for me, Coach, I'd be like, wait, that was really good. That was real good. So go ahead and share, y'all. Y'all just don't know what's gonna happen on tonight. So do us a favor, share. I do see some people already hopping on. Y'all know how we do. We love to acknowledge you guys. So please begin to comment. Let us know that you are watching with us. I see you, Ricky. Hey, I see you, Des. Hey, oh, thank you. She said we look cute.
Thank you. Hey, Rihanna.
Yes, hey, Des. Hey. Y'all, please share. Tag some people in. Hey, Miss Bree. How are y'all doing? How are y'all? Y'all doing great on this lovely Tuesday. So we appreciate you guys for joining us and even just taking that time out. Y'all, we won't be before y'all long. So we're going to go ahead and dive in it shortly.
I'm trying to share.
I said shortly. Calm down. Okay. I said shortly. Okay, y'all. She acting up. Y'all should have seen behind the scenes. She was really cutting up and yelling at me and stuff. What? So she over here just cutting up, y'all.
That's you the reason we late.
Y'all. Okay. We're not about to do this, Rihanna. Come get her. Come get her. She's already trying to start. So go ahead and tag. Let me actually tag some people. I know I shared, but let me go ahead and tag some people in really quick to let them know we are on.
Yes.
So let me do that too. I don't see y'all tagging in them comments. Go ahead and tag.
Oh, Brianna said Rihanna, we come on at 7 now on Tuesdays.
Yes. What she said? Oh, I thought I missed y'all. No, we tried to post it in the thing as well in the group, y'all. We posted it not in the group, on the page that we were going live at 7. So hey, Yana, hey. Because I was just about to tag you up in here, Yana.
I don't even know.
Okay, so I got 2 people. Let me go ahead and tag one more.
Where Tail at? I'm about to tag her if I can get her name to come up.
Look, not if I beat you to it first. Not if I beat you to it first. So go ahead and share, y'all. Share, tag, please. So that way we can get this thing going. Reese, don't be trying to check us. Okay. She like, it's 7:21.
Yes, had to get you time.
But then when we did try to go live, there was like a little technical issue too. So
yes,
I kind of put it back a little bit, but it's okay. We here now. See, we here. So yes, go ahead and share, y'all. Tag 3 people in, right, Miss Bree? They just trying to act up on tonight. I see how it's going.
Hey, Ebony.
Hey, EB, I see how it's gonna be on tonight. Y'all just want to try to act up.
Who said something?
What? Oh, no, Reese with the lateness.
Oh, well, why people getting on and tagging people? Because since we ain't gonna be here long, tell them about what we were talking about as far as having a guest come on, like the whole little process and stuff like that.
Okay, but really quick too, Reese, I believe it was Reese that just asked how y'all tag. So in the comments, Reese, if that's what you were asking, in the comments, you just go ahead and at. So whoever, you know, whether you put like, okay, you put the at symbol and you put the letter T, you're gonna see your friends list right there. And then you tag whoever you want to tag. If that's what you're saying. I'm not sure if that's what you're saying. But okay, y'all. So let's go ahead. We're gonna dive into this.
I didn't know it did that.
What? What you talking about now?
I didn't know it did that. The tagging stuff.
What you talking about? That's how we've been tagging.
Not me. I be tagging people's names.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but when you put the ad, it shows you a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
I just been saying like one person at a time because I type their name in. That's what I'm doing.
Hey, Lupe. Hey, I believe Ashanae, I saw you, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, y'all. Continue to tag. You're welcome, Reese. Glad I can assist you on this Facebookologist. You know, I'm a Facebookologist. I'm glad I can assist you. You know, I do also have my coworker, my co-laborer, Rihanna, that will be able to assist us as well with anything that we do need, guys. Okay. But no, for real, let's go ahead and dive into this, y'all. We already 5 minutes in. So we are actually, I know we mentioned it before, that when you guys do have, you know, comments, you guys have questions, you have certain topics that you guys want to discuss. I know that we took maybe about 2 of them from Reese, but if you guys have any of the other topics, you can go ahead and submit those to Level Up 1322 at gmail.com. Once again, Level Up 1322 at gmail.com. And so what we're going to be doing, you guys, is we're actually going to be selecting one person. Okay, so one person, we're going to be selecting one person to come on with us, you guys. We, of course, we're telling you guys the topic, but what we want you guys to do is, if you are interested, okay, please hear me. Is my mic on? My mic on. Yeah, hear me, y'all. Hear me. If you are interested and you want to come on for an episode with the Level Up podcast, okay? So remember, y'all, we start on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Okay, we are going to need somebody who will be reliable. We're going to need somebody who is going to be dependable for that day. We ain't saying y'all going to be on here all the time, okay? Whatever the Lord leads. But what we're saying is, for this day, we are asking for those that are willing to be on camera. You want to be on the Level Up podcast, please go ahead and email us. Okay, so email us because I believe what's the deadline? September 5th, Coach? Yes. Okay, so email us, you guys. Okay, once again, if you want to be on Level Up podcast, okay, and come in, join us with the conversation. We will be going through screening people. So go ahead and email us at levelup1322 at gmail.com, right? Reese said, is the spirit willing? I'm not even gonna play with her, okay? I'm not gonna play with her. Okay, y'all. So that's what we're excited about.
You gotta tell them what day that they will actually be on the show. So you have to have your email sent by the 5th, because by the 5th, we're gonna actually go through the emails and choose whoever, whatever. Then your show will be the 19th. So on the 19th, I believe, will be when you actually will be on our live, and that will be the last our last show for that season. So it will be actually on the 19th. So you have to have your email by the 5th, September the 5th, and then the show you will actually be on will be September the 19th.
Okay. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah. And you have to be willing to even get on at least 20 minutes before the show starts, so we can kind of go over things. You have to be on time. We know we don't play no being late. And also your character has to, this will put your character on display, because if you really got to think about this before you sign up for it, because I'm one of those. If you sign up for it and then you flake, we have a problem. And I'm just going to put it out there, because that's your character on the line. So trust and believe, when you sign up, and this is not to scare you, but when you sign up, you're putting your character out there. I understand emergency happens, things happen. I understand that. But if you put your name on here and then you flake on us and you don't give us enough notice to say, hey, I thought I'll be able to, but hey, I can't. Can you find somebody else? Then, hey, that's cool. But just to not show up, that's something totally different.
Yes. So y'all heard Coach, y'all. Okay.
I don't want to have to put nobody on blast. I don't want to have to put nobody on blast.
Yeah, because y'all, she cutting up now. So please hear us. We are willing, y'all, and we would love to have y'all. I know a lot of you guys that are always supporting us. You guys are always on with us. We do hey Ruby. Why you guys say it at the same time? I know you guys are always like I said, supporting us and just constantly just commenting, things like that. So we would love to have one of you guys. Hey Apostle, I didn't even see you have to go. What he said. Look, I'd rather she be the top gun, y'all. I'd rather she be the one to slice you. So once again, if you guys are interested, okay, y'all already heard the qualifications. Please do not come back in there with the email again. Like, what was the qualifications again? Okay, if you probably know, if you're asking that, then you probably just ain't. It ain't for you, baby.
You ain't ready yet.
You ain't ready, and it's okay.
You ain't ready to be on camera.
Yeah, it's okay. And I want to answer Lupe. She says, how many?
No, because it's for females and males, so it don't matter. You don't have to be a female. You could be a male. You could be a female. It doesn't matter.
Yes. So it does not matter. Because the topics we usually talk about anyway is pretty much goes both ways and stuff.
Yeah.
But Lupe said, how many takes do you guys do? Lupe, we come on and everything. This is live. Okay, yeah, we don't prep none. The only thing we do prior to this is we have our topics. We finished our topics for the season. But we come on and it's all this. Like it ain't no prepping. It ain't no takes. Hey Miss Lynn, the only thing is, like I said, like there's no do-overs like at all. So if you remember, everything is live.
Yeah, we live.
The questions, all that. Like we don't write nothing. I ain't got nothing.
We don't write no notes. We have no notes.
We have no notes. And it's all just off. It's just like I said, at the end of the day, this ties into the disclaimer, y'all. Is that every time we speak,
give me the disclaimer, please.
Yeah. See, she cutting up, y'all. Apostle, come get your elder. Come get her.
Give me the disclaimer.
This ties into, y'all. We gotta go because this is already 7:30.
I know.
This ties into the disclaimer, everybody.
Get some pearls. If you want me, get some pearls.
Yes, you get some pearls. If you are selected, get some pearls. But this really does tie into the disclaimer, you guys, as far as when we speak on these topics, we are speaking from experience. We are speaking based off of what we've been through, what, happened to us, how we responded, what we got from that, the wisdom, all those things is because of basically what we've experienced, our testimonies, what we've been through, or even just our own opinions. So we always give that disclaimer every time we go live to just let people know everything we give is based off experience, our testimonies, and even our opinions. So with that being said, let's go ahead, dive into this because we are already long overdue.
Because I want to say, because sometimes, like I always say, you may not agree with us. So we're just putting that out there. You may not agree with everything we say. So, we agree to disagree. It's like that. We still good. We don't have to agree on everything. So we just put that disclaimer out there. But let's get busy. I'm ready.
Yeah, EB, I'm not going to play with you. We'll see. That's other things we'll talk about with they select. Like coming on here with a bonnet and, stuff like that. Like there's things to this, okay? We can't be having you wearing a bonnet and we talking about leveling up. What are we leveling up to? So let's go ahead and get into this topic. Okay, y'all. So tonight's topic is what we're going to be talking about is what causes people to lose sight of the vision. What causes people to lose sight of the vision? You want to take it, Coach?
Yeah, I can take it. Because I want to really specify what we're talking about when we're talking about vision. When we're talking about vision, we're talking about the vision that God gave you for your life.
Yes.
We're not talking about everybody else, but the vision God has given you for your life. What he showed you about you.
Yes.
What he showed you, whether it was about your future, whatever desire and passion he puts in your heart, whatever he gave you that is in front of you. And you have an idea of what a lot of things we don't know all. No, but if you have an idea of where God said that you're going and where he's taking you. And we want to talk about like what will make you lose sight of the vision, because things can make you lose sight of the vision that God has shown you. Because a lot of times the vision does not, when God shows you a vision or God says this is what you're going to be, or he sends a prophetic word your way, and this and that, this is what your future entails. A lot of time it doesn't happen the next day.
Yeah.
There is a process to get there. And God never shows you what's going to happen on the process. because if he did, you would never go.
No.
So what happens is it's like he shows you the end and he gets you all excited, but you don't know the small little writing that's in
that fine print.
Like the disclosure, the fine print. You don't know that. You get so excited that you just take off running that you didn't even stay. And you know what this remind me of? Even before we even get started, I'm talking about this and I'm thinking about Paul.
Mm-hmm.
When God told, was it Ananias?
Which part you
on the road of Damascus.
Yes.
When Ananias went to where Paul was staying, Paul was blind.
Yes.
Remember, he got blinded. And Ananias, was it Ananias that went?
I think it was Ananias.
I don't want to be wrong. Let me look.
Hold up. Y'all, come on, Bible scholars. The one that was basically like, Lord, I ain't gonna put my hands and pray for him. You know what all he done did? Yeah,
I think it was Ananias. I'm gonna say it was Ananias. I know. I think it was Ananias. Let me see.
Where Apostle?
I don't
want to say it was Ananias because he was the one that was speaking in regards to when God was telling him.
Okay. Yeah, it was Ananias. Yeah. So Ananias went to Paul, but in the talk that Ananias had with God, God said, I'm going to show him all the things he must suffer for my sake. Like he's going to go through all these things for my name's sake. And I remember that used to always come in my mind when God had shown me what he was going to do with me, but I didn't know what was going to happen in the middle. And that scripture will always come to my mind because what picture it would paint in my head was that sometimes God will give you the vision and you take off running and you don't stay around to hear what else he has to say.
Wait. You got to say that again.
Sometimes God will give you a vision of where he's taking you, or you'll get a prophetic word and you take off running, but you don't stay around to see what else he had to say to you. And I used to always think about that because I'd be like, did I not hear him say this? Like, did he say this? But I was so caught up with what's the vision that I didn't hear the little sidebar saying, I'm gonna show her all she must suffer for my name's sake. Like I was like, did I run off and didn't hear that part? Like, we
hear that word.
So captivated with the vision that you don't even pay attention to all the other things that's going to take place. And a lot of times you don't know what's going to take place. So sometimes along the way, you can lose sight of the vision. Why? Because things has happened in life, trials, tribulations. And like I said, a lot of times the vision does not come to pass the next day. Sometimes it may take 10 years. It may take 15 years. Look, Abraham, what was it? 20 years, 24 years, whatever time. Yeah. So it's like,
I know that.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, I think it was 20 years. Wasn't it 20 years?
I don't know. It was double digit.
You need to study more.
It was, wait, hold up. If you asking me, and you don't know, I was the one that told you what happened on the road to Damascus.
I knew it was Ananias. I just wanted to make sure.
Why you question yourself when you talking about I need to study more? And I'm the one telling you it was double digit. I know that. You mean to tell me you're going to know every detail in the Bible? You're going to be like, no, remember
25 years. It was 25 years.
Double digit. It was double digit. I didn't say single. Now, if I would have said single, then you'd have been like, yeah, you need to study. I said it's double digit.
So Abraham waited 25 years for his the blessing or the manifestation of what God said. So a lot of times we can get discouraged, we can get weary, things happen, trials happen, tribulation happen, and you lose sight of the vision. Why? Because life has happened. A lot takes place between when you got the word. Oh my God, here we go. When you got the word and when the word manifests. A lot takes place within there. And a lot of times you've been through stuff that almost you forget about the word you received. And so I believe that's what makes you lose sight of the vision is life, the cares of life. Things that are going on in life will make you lose sight of the vision that you can't even see clearly now because you've been through so much that you forgot what even the vision was. What you got on this?
Listen, I got a few things on this because this is a sad thing though, because a lot of this that it happens. Like I love what you said, how we can get a word and then we'll just take off with that thing, but not even realizing God is like, I'm giving you stuff because we all know God. First of all, He's not gonna show you everything completely because, like I said, some of us we may not be mature enough. Some of us God still have to deal with certain areas in our life. So I really believe, and I swear I read it either in the Bible or a part of my study where it was like, God is not going to give us everything, because if he gives us everything, then it would be no need for him in our life anymore.
That's good. That's
and
good.
So this is the reason why I believe God gives us pieces. And even as the Bible tells us, we prophesy and we see in part. It's not a total picture. This is why you have some people who be like, hey, I see this. You know, they may not understand fully of it because it's a glimpse of what God gives us. Because there's certain things that God needs to do even on the way. There's things he needs to do prior. There's things he needs to do even while we're in the midst of it. And there's things he needs to continue to do after, and even when we're into that place. So when you were saying, I was like, man, that's powerful. But what I also think will cause people, got a couple of them, but we're going to go back and forth with this. Hey, Minister T, is that I believe what causes for most of us to miss or lose sight of the vision is ourselves.
Yeah, that's good.
Because we'll start focusing on me, and how we can get to this point, or how we can do this, or how we can do that. And it causes for us to lose sight, because God is not asking for us to be all together. He's not asking for us to be at like whole completely when he's bringing us to certain things and the visions that he has for us. But a lot of times it could be us. Like we'll get in our way.
Yes.
We'll get in our way, and we'll get in the way of what God is doing.
Yes.
Because we can get so self-centered of just me, and not realizing that God still has to process us.
That's good.
God still has to prune us. So when I think of that, I think of us, but not only that, I think of distractions. Distractions will cause for us to lose sight of the vision.
Yeah.
And I know for most times it's the enemy. He loves to distract. He loves, because when you're distracted, you are no longer focused.
That's good. I like that.
If you look forward, and when you're looking forward, that's vision. Just imagine, because y'all know I'm the type of person where I see things vividly and visual. So if I'm looking forward, I see the word vision. I'm looking, I see it. I see even vision, finish line, whatever you want to call it. But here it is along the way as I'm going through it, as I'm moving closer, as I'm moving towards what God has for me. Somehow distractions is on the right. Distractions is on the left. And now, instead of me focusing forward, instead of me looking to what I need to be focusing on, as Jesus says, hey, I'm the author and finisher of your faith, look unto me. We start looking at distractions. We start looking at whatever it is the enemy knows what will distract you.
Yeah, that's good.
Keep you from focusing on the vision. He studies your bloodline. He studies your generations. So he already know, hey, let me distract this particular person with a relationship. Let me distract this particular person with a friendship. Let me distract them with addictions. Let me distract them with all sorts of things to keep them from moving forward in vision. Because when you move forward in vision, it produces a harvest. When you move forward in vision, there's something that is produced out of that. Because when God does a thing, he does a thing and it multiplies. He says, I'm able to do exceedingly. I'm able to do above what you can think of. So when I think of that, I think of all the distractions that the enemy will cause for us to just focus on those things, which once again could be yourself. It could be a relationship. It could be even your job. It could be people around you, whatever it is that he will use to distract you so you can lose focus. So now you can, at that point, you doubting yourself, like something happened in the midst of that to where now you cannot be focused. I'm telling you, you need to have focus when you're dealing with vision.
Yeah, that's good.
There's no way that you can say, "Oh, I got vision," but you're not focused. You're not moving forward to anything because your mind has to be focused. I'm sorry, but when you even think about it, Coach, there's no way that I could try my best to move forward, and there's chaos. There's all sorts of things. Think about it. You have the enemy just pulling you left to right, but you're still trying to press. You're still trying to push forward. You're still trying to get to this vision, but he's pulling things at you. He's throwing things at you. He's causing for all of this stuff, and it's the closest people to you, man. When you're trying to finish something, when you're trying to accomplish something, you're trying to move forward in a vision, a goal, whatever it is, it be the closest people to you that will distract you. It's the closest people to you that's going to pull you out of character. It's the closest people to you that's going to cause for you to begin to start questioning, the vision in the first place. Like, Lord, did you really tell me to go here? Did you really tell me to do this? Did you really tell me all this stuff? So I think those are my two for right now is distractions, and most times it could be us.
Yeah. When you were talking and you were saying how the enemy throws all this stuff at you and those can be distraction, what I wrote down is that you have to count up the cost before you begin.
Come on.
Because the enemy is going to throw stuff at you, but how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
So there has to be a cost counted up before you even begin.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times you don't count up the cost because you think that this thing is going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people, they want success overnight. And a lot of times success doesn't come overnight. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the blood, the sweat, the tears, everything that it takes to get there. So it's about even like, if, okay, I don't care if the enemy is throwing all these things on me. I've decided in my mind I'm going all the way.
Yes.
I've decided in my mind that I'm going to give birth to this vision. I've decided. So it's like you've counted up the cost because you have to be realistic. There are things that are going to happen. I think when you're not realistic and you think it's just about to be palm trees, green grass, and you're not realistic, that to know like, but I believe this comes from maturity to know like there's most likely going to be some obstacles. Why? I always tell my coaching clients, the enemy is not, when you begin to work on yourself, the enemy is not about to just let you ride in on a parade and you just wave it. No, you're going to experience some attacks. You're going to experience some obstacles. You're going to experience some disappointments. You're going to be discouraged, but how bad do you want it? So I think like when what will cause something like just losing the sight of the vision, I wrote down pressure. Pressure will make you lose sight of the vision because it's always in the crushing. It's always in the pressure. It's always in the where you have to apply the most pressure to get out what God has. And a lot of times the pressure does not feel good.
Oh, no, it don't.
The fire does not feel good. The pressure does not feel good. And it's not according to your time frame. You can be in the fire for years.
Wait,
a lot of times,
Coach, say that again.
I said you can be in the fire for years. And a lot of people, because when God says a season, that don't mean just 3-4 months. A season could be 10 years, but that was a season, you know? And so what it is that just being in the pressure and the pressure of life and these things can make you lose sight of the vision. I said your mindset, the mindset you have can make you lose sight of the vision. Because if your mindset is not forward thinking, if your mindset is not about, you know, really have the vision set in your head and you're like, I'm going to get this no matter what happens is you'll be so easy to give up. Why? Because your mindset has never shifted. It takes a certain type of mindset to hold on to the vision.
Come on here.
Because the Bible says to write the vision, make it plain so that you may run with it. So that tells me there comes a time where you got to run. Oh my goodness. You got to run with the vision. See, there's one thing to stand and hold something, but there's another thing to run with it and not let it drop out your hands. To run with it and not lose it in the midst of the run. To be able to run with it, whether somebody, a dog is chasing you.
Wait, why gotta be the dog?
But I'm just saying, but you're running. You're running with the vision. So it's like, so that you be able to run with it. But I believe it says, write it down and make it plain. Why? So that when you run with it, you can be able, still while I'm running, I'm meditating on it. Still while I'm in, so let's break it back. Still while I'm under pressure, I still never lose sight of the vision. Still while I'm in the fire, I still got the vision on my mind. And so that's what it is. It's like, he's like, you got to make it, you have to make it plain. So therefore you can hold on to it. Why? In any situation, you won't lose it. But that starts back at the beginning. That's why I said you got to, the beginning, when he first gave it to you, you have to make some decisions at the beginning. You can't wait till when you get halfway in and now you make a decision. I got one more. I wrote down, looking behind you, make you lose sight of the vision.
Come on here.
Anytime a person is running, they running like if we watch the Olympics and they running and they got to pass the baton or they're just running just to pass that finish line. They are not looking behind because to look behind slows you down. To look behind slows you down. And a lot of times, some of us is too busy looking at what we lost. At what went up in flames. Too busy looking at what left us. Too busy looking at what didn't work. Too busy looking at what door didn't open. Too busy looking at the business that didn't work. So we're so busy looking backwards that we can't even run forward. So what happens is if I am looking back, I can't even move forward. So therefore, the vision is before you, not, oh my goodness. The vision is before you, not behind you. What God has for you is in front of you, not behind you. So if you're looking back for the vision, you're already missing it. Why? Because it's not back there. It's ahead of you. So you're so big, you're looking back to where you don't even see where you're headed any longer. Like you said, the vision is in front of you. But if I'm looking back, I'm not looking in front. Who drives their car and while they're going forward, they're looking back.
That's dangerous.
You're not even watching where you're going. So so that's what causes you to lose sight, because you're so busy looking behind you. But you're looking behind you at things that died. You're looking at behind things that didn't work. So it's like you're lost in what could have, should have. Let me tell you this. If it was part of your destiny, it would be in front of you and not behind you.
Period.
Yeah.
Hey, Ayan. Hey, Sashawn. I mean, we just gonna go ahead and close that out. I mean, like, what else to say? What else to say?
Ebony says, do you think sometimes we should, or would it be good to rewrite the vision? If God gave you the vision, you can't rewrite it. But let me tell you what you can do. There have been times I went back to God and said, God, can you show me the vision again, because I forgot? Show me the vision because I lost focus. Lord, can you show me the vision again, because I lost focus along the way? So much has happened since you showed me the vision that, Lord, I need you to show me the vision again. Not so I can change it, but that you can show me again, because I forgot some of it.
Yeah.
That's just being honest with God. Lord, I was in so much hurt. I was so much pain. Lord, I was in the fire. I was in the wilderness. Lord God, and along the way, I lost the vision.
Yeah.
I'm being honest with God. So Lord, God, can you show me the vision again? Show me the vision again. Yeah. And like I said, Sister MK is being honest.
Yeah. That's why I say be transparent with God, because at the end of the day, God already know we're going to make mistakes. He already know, down the line, this is going to happen. All that's going to happen. So I like how you said that, coaches, because at the end of the day, you can't rewrite what God is already saying. But like you said, even just coming to him and asking him, not only that, but Lord, deal with me. Because somehow down the line, I've lost sight. Somehow down the line, I've allowed the enemy to distract me. I've allowed for this to happen. I've allowed for that. So, Lord, I need you to heal me. I need you to restore me, because it's a whole nother thing when you're being able to move forward in the vision and whatever God has for you, and you're whole and you're complete and it's not like you are broken or you're still holding on to the things of the past. But that's why she said, like, hey, sis, Chantel, that's why she said, even just dealing with me, God, deal with me. Because along that time of, I'm telling you, most of us have been in it, or we're already in it, or whatever the case may be. It's like, God, deal with me. That's something I tell you, coach. I always pray and I say, God, deal with me. Deal with my response. Deal with my attitude. Deal the way I see this. Deal the way with how I'm hearing these things. Like what I'm hearing. God, please just deal with me. Because y'all, to come into an alignment, see, that's the problem too, is a lot of us, we can move out of alignment because of the things that is taking place and the things that is happening in our lives. And some of it, can we be honest, it's stuff that we are not aware of. Then there's some things that we do and we just willingly doing it that causes for us to move out of alignment with God. But in the midst of things is happening, in the midst of stuff, our life is like a roller coaster. Things are transpiring, things are happening. And so now we begin to move out of alignment from the vision. But that's why you have to come say, this is how it is. Is this a vision? Now you just, it's distorted, like certain things is happening. And it's just like, can we even just deal with this of even you not even feeling qualified for the vision? See, so that will cause for many people to lose sight of the vision, because you're not even feeling like you're qualified for that vision. You're qualified what God has for you. You're qualified for the plans that he has for you. Some of us have to allow God to deal with the insecurity, because insecurity will allow for us, or even stop us from seeing the vision, seeing that thing through. So now instead of you moving forward in boldness, instead of you moving forward in confidence, now we're allowing for the enemy once again to distract us with insecurity, and that will cause for us to not even want to move forward, because now we feel like, God, I can't be qualified for this. God, I cannot do this. But can I tell you, God will take the people who feel like, Come on. He will take the
Yes.
people who feel like they're not qualified and he will use them for his glory.
Yes.
I feel this thing. I know we ain't
Yes.
trying to preach, but I feel this because I believe that somebody is struggling with, God, I feel like I'm not qualified because of my past. I feel like I'm not qualified because the enemy keeps showing me the things I used to do, the things I used to say, the places I used to be involved in. But I read even in the Bible, I don't know if it was Corinthians, Colossians, or one of them, where even says where God is the one who qualifies the child of God. He qualifies us. So you can't allow the enemy to cause for you to box you in. I feel this. We ain't trying to go this right, but I feel this thing. But you can't allow for the enemy to box you in and to restrict you and to make you feel like you ain't qualified. Listen, guess what? The Bible says agree with your adversary quickly. So you guess what? I may not be qualified in your eyes, but guess what? In the eyes of God, my maker, my creator, the one who breathed life inside of me, he said I'm qualified. So because he said I'm qualified, I'm going to believe it. See, a lot of times what causes us, coach, to stop us to lose sight of the vision, causes us to lose sight of the vision is because of our faith. Yeah. We don't even have the faith that God can do it. We don't even have the faith that God can push us to the purpose, that he can push us to the vision, that God can do whatever he pleases, whatever he needs to do. That's why I always tell God, whatever you want to do, whatever you have to do. And then I'll be wondering, coach, why I'm going through the stripping process. I'll be wondering why God is purging me. And I feel like I'm being pruned and stuff because I said this and I asked for it. Some of you are in a season where you ask God for something. You ask God to do it. And God is only doing what you asked him to do because it's in his alignment. It's in his will. So don't question what God is doing in this hour because he said you asked for this.
That's good.
You asked for this. You have to have the faith. Abraham, literally, I know we're going to get to this. Abraham said, I will have the faith that, Lord, if you told me to give you my son, if you told me to sacrifice my son, I believe in you. I believe in the power of you, Father, that you're even able to raise him from the dead. It's the faith. We have disbelief. We have the insecurity. We allow the enemy to play on our mind. We allow the enemy to play on us to cause us to lose sight of the vision.
Yeah.
Okay, because y'all got me started up and we ain't.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, coach.
Because when you were talking earlier, what I was going to say, because you were saying the enemy doing this and the enemy do that, but I was thinking sometimes it's not the enemy, it's us. It's us. It's not the enemy. Sometimes we blame the enemy for everything, but he's not even doing it because we're already doing it to ourselves. He ain't got to touch us.
And so you know why? Hold up. You know why we blame it on the enemy?
Because we ain't got to. Because we don't have to be accountable for ourselves.
Come on here. That's why we always hear.
Because it's like we see the vision, but I wrote down here. I said you have to learn to submit to the vision.
Yeah.
So what happens is you're not really submitted to it. You know what I'm saying? You have every excuse under the sun. You got to learn to be a warrior. You got to learn to stand up in war. God has given you all the tools to war. And to walk in the vision, you can't walk in as a victim. To walk into the vision that God has for you, you have to walk in like a warrior. So the longer you stay a victim, you'll never walk into the manifestation of what God has called you to do. Well, so you have to settle within yourself that you are who God says that you are. But that takes work of being with God. Because I'm one of those, at a certain point, it shouldn't be that you still struggling with if God called you to do this. I'm sorry. I'm just one of those that, hey, we 5 years in and you still struggling with it. Like, to me, you need to go. Yeah, no, you need to get it together. If you're still fighting, if you're still like, Lord, I don't know. I don't think I'm worthy of it. Like, you have to understand. Let me just say this. You have to understand. When you receive Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, he forgave you for everything you did. It was washed away with the blood. Let that marinate. Because when you let that marinate, you won't be fighting your identity issues any longer. See, you got to learn to accept what God did. The reason the enemy is still able to play those games on you because you never accepted the gift. You may pretend like you accepted it, but you never truly accepted the gift. And so that's what happens. That's why you're still struggling. I'm going there. That's why you're still struggling with, am I good enough? That's why you're still struggling with confidence. That's why you're still struggling with these things. Am I being hard? No, I'm not. But what I'm trying to get you to understand, you have to accept it within yourself that God paid the price for you. Jesus paid the price for you and you have been set free. Everything you have done has been washed under the blood. Take it and go. It shouldn't be all these years in later you still struggling with if God can use me. I'm sorry. If you are not a babe in Christ, a new believer, then I feel like you should be past that stage. Yes, the enemy will come and throw his darts, but you have to stand declaring that you know what God has already said, not reliving what you did. You have to come to a point. I did what I did. It was me. I was guilty. It was me. But by the grace of God, this is where I'm at now. See, that's how you got to deal with the enemy.
Yep.
Not allow him to make you feel like you can't walk in the position that God has given you, because he's bringing all these old accusations that has been covered by the blood. It ain't even relevant at this time because the devil don't have nothing new. All he do is bring back stuff from the past. But you got to stand in confidence. You have to stand.
Yeah.
No, this is what I told someone this. I said, God doesn't call you because you're perfect. You got all kind of flaws, and he calls you. That's what he don't wait for you get it all together before he uses you. If you are submitted to him, you have surrendered, your heart belongs to him. What happens is he does the work in you as you are working the vision.
Yes, that's good.
So it's like you're walking this journey out and God is doing a work in you. So I feel like it's time out for even being that, still playing the victim of, oh my goodness, I don't know, he can use me. If he called you to it, then he already equipped you for it.
Yes.
But you got to settle it within your heart, because what happens is you're giving the devil ammunition. You're walking in your own condemnation.
Ooh.
God has not condemned you. You condemned yourself. I was thinking about this last night, and I was thinking about the Green Mile. I'm all somewhere else, but I was thinking about the Green Mile. And I was thinking about how when he was walking down to go to his cell, they were, I forgot what they were yelling, but because they're on death row, they yell certain stuff. That dead man walking.
Yeah, that's what they said.
He was going to the electric chair, and it was dead man walking, and everybody was saying it as he was walking down the thing. And I was thinking that that's how people, when they walk under condemnation that they have put themselves in, because God has already forgiven them, but they still walk in it. As they're walking, they hear condemnation. But I said they have to change what they're hearing to victory, freedom. So as you're walking down that aisle, you're saying freedom, instead of condemnation. And so that is what is happening. You were walking in condemnation that God didn't even give you. He already set you free 10 years ago. But you condemned yourself. And so, yes, you don't think you're right for the vision. Yes, you don't think you can carry the vision. Yes, you don't think, let me tell you, the vision is always bigger than you. Because you're never able to give birth to it by yourself.
Nope.
The only way the vision could come to pass if God does it. So yes, it's bigger than you. Yes, it looks scary. Yes, you don't know how it's going to work out. But what it is about submitting to the vision. It's about submitting to God. It's submitting and let him do the work in you. So therefore you can give birth to the vision. That's what it leads back to. And so I just had to say that because I think sometimes we're so hard on ourselves and we can't get up from that place. Why? Because God already freed you, but you're still acting like a slave. I used to always say this. I said, there are some people still sitting on a slave master's porch, even though they've been free. They have been free, but they still sitting on his porch. And it's like, because in their mind, they're still a slave. And so it's just about that. And so it's just like you being able to get yourself right, your mind right, to be like, I'm going to carry this vision.
Yeah.
God didn't qualify me because I was perfect. He knew all my flaws, but he chose me to carry this vision. So I must have in me what it takes to get the vision done. That's all it. And then
that's it. Yeah, we're gonna get to what EB said. But when you were talking about even with the movie, and when they're walking, most times they're holding their head down because they have been condemned.
Yeah.
Because of what people are saying, they're holding their head down. How can I see the vision if my head is down? If I'm allowing for condemnation to take place? Because a lot of us, can we be honest, we allow it.
Yeah.
We allow it. The devil want to see what can I throw at them? What can I throw at her? What can I throw at him to see if they gonna allow it? Because at the end of the day, like you said, it's been wiped clean. The moment you receive Jesus Christ as your savior, he wipes it. He clears it. Case dismissed. Okay. So whatever the enemy tries to bring forward, it's void. It don't even matter. It doesn't matter. But we'll walk in that place with our head held down and not even paying attention. How can you move forward? You're just looking down.
Yeah.
You're just looking down. So how are you going to see anything? So you allow the condemnation to hold you, place you in this place of just looking down when, like you said, God already did it. He already did it for us. That's why we got to receive it. And I'm going to talk about this, Coach, and we can move to EB thing. I know we try to move to that. But what you just said and how you broke that thing down, remember, you helped me with that. I was struggling, y'all, and I'm always transparent. I always be transparent, y'all, because I really believe transparency brings healing. It brings people to the place where they're like, oh, wait, I didn't know you were battling with that. I didn't know you were facing that. But I remember, y'all, not even just last year or so. Okay. I was struggling with the fact of God called me to be a prophet. I was struggling. I'm talking about hey, Pastor Jay, I was struggling with that thing. Now, 2017, that's when God started to reveal it to me, but it wasn't up until like the last few years where a lot of people kept prophesying, a lot of people kept saying a lot of this stuff, and I was struggling with it. I didn't want to receive it. I didn't want to receive that I was called a prophet. I didn't want to do any of that. I was crying. Y'all, I was crying in the room. Frustrated with God, like, God, no, like you said, God, I don't think I'm qualified. Like, how can I do this? My background, the things I was involved in. Like, I had this whole list of why I couldn't just accept the fact of what God declared over me even before I was even born. Even before I was placed in this earth, God had already declared it, and I was struggling with this thing, and I was battling with this thing. But I remember the times where I would call you, and I would be crying, and I'm like, no, this feels uncomfortable. I don't like the feeling. I don't know what this, and I feel like the prophet should be this. Like, y'all, I was creating this whole scenario, this whole list of what a prophet should be, of what a prophet should sound like, of what a prophet should be doing, because I didn't grow up in church. So I'm over here creating this whole thing, Ayan. I'm drawing this whole thing out, Reese, of what it was, and it was causing for me not to even just embrace the fact that what God was doing in my life.
That's good.
And so you had to help me, because here it is. I was struggling with seeing the vision. See, this is the reason why you got to have people around you that even when you can't see it, even when you get distracted, even when you feel like all hell is breaking loose and you don't know what's going on, you need people that are around you that say, hey, sis, hey, bro, hey, come on, I need you to move forward, because we got to go ahead and accomplish this vision.
That's good.
We got to go ahead and move forward. You dealt with what it was that I was facing, what I was battling with. You dealt with that thing. And from that moment, I was like, okay, God, like.
Tell them what I said. I remember, but I don't remember. You remember what I said? You were
telling me, like, because I have it in my notes, y'all. I write everything down when people say certain things to me. But you were basically saying, like, there's no look to a prophet. Like, you're born a prophet. This, not just a prophet, y'all, whether you're called to be an apostle, a pastor, like, there's no look. I was thinking that there was a certain look, a certain standard. What God calls you to, yes, is to be holy. He causes you to be submitted. He causes you to move in righteousness. Yes, he calls you to that. But what you were saying, Coach, is that the fact of it's not a look. There's not a standard. You're creating this whole list and you're creating all these things. And you said you are basically trying to do something that you cannot even obtain.
Yeah.
You said something in that, Judge. Like, you can't even obtain it, and you're trying to do this, and you're trying to do that. And this is the reason why you're feeling like you can't be the prophet. You can't do what God called you to do. It's because the list you created, you cannot even finish the list off. Because that's not what God is calling us to do. He, like you say, he's calling us to be submitted. He's calling for us to surrender. So I wanted to share that with somebody, because at the end of the day, although you may not totally understand the vision, you may not totally understand what God is doing, a lot of y'all can even just testify, even on here, how things have shifted for me. I had to come into an agreement. I had to believe by faith that, God, you called me to be your prophet. I don't know how that's going to look, what that's going to look like, what I got to do, all these other things. But God, this is what you called me to do. So no more do I want to fight you, because I was fighting God. No more do I want to wrestle with you. Come on here, Lupe. I laid on my face and I postured myself and I said, God, I don't want to fight you anymore. I don't want to wrestle with you anymore. I don't want to say out of my mouth that I am not your prophet, because I'm coming against your vision. I'm coming against your plan. I'm coming against the things that you have already spoken over my life. Y'all, I'm over here fighting God and not realizing I'm fighting God.
Yeah.
But I had to come into an agreement. I had to believe by faith that God, this is what you're going to do. So when people see me now and they see how I'm flowing and the confidence that I have, y'all, don't get me wrong, God's still working on me. But when they see it from then to now, it ain't nothing but God. It's nothing but God. So you have to get to that place where you stop fighting God, stop fighting your purpose, stop fighting destiny, stop fighting it. You creating how it should be, and think about it too. Not only that, but it's a lot of times it's comparison. Comparison will cause for us to lose sight of the vision, to lose sight of what God is saying, because we're comparing ourselves to other people. I was comparing my background to other people's background. Well, God, they know more of the Bible. Lord, they was in church probably from newborn all the way up. And here it is. I'm 26, 27 years old coming into Christ. 26, 27 years old, accepting you as my Savior. So I started to compare myself to other people. And this was causing for me to be intimidated. I'm trying to help somebody on tonight. I was being intimidated by the call. I was being intimidated by other people because I saw other people. Yes, Reese Newborn. I saw other people moving this way. I saw other people doing it. Can I tell you something? How God deals with you is not how he's going to deal with the next person. He may put you in a certain place, a certain season, but he knows you need that season. So he may put you in a fire, but the other person, they're going to be placed in the wilderness. The other person going to be placed in the cave. The other person is going to be placed in the pit. God knows where to place us because he knows when he places us there, there's something coming out of us, even in the midst of while we're in the pit, the fire, wherever it's at. Remember, he says, I'm the potter, you are the clay. I mold you and I shape you. Stop fighting God for shaping you. Stop fighting God when all he's trying to do is mold you and to be the person he called you to be. I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I feel this. I'm done.
Yeah. So I want to answer Ebony's questions. She says, how do you stay encouraged when you know God showed you a vision, but others can't see it or support you in it? Let me just tell you this. The vision God gave you is for you. God doesn't need co-signers for your vision. God don't need those to come and tell you what God has already showed you. What happens is you got to understand what God has already told you. I was just telling somebody today, but first let me show you this scripture right here. This is Habakkuk 2:2. It says, the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain on tablets. Let he may run who reads it, for the vision is yet for appointed time. Listen to this, Ebony. This is the part I want you to get. He says, but at the end, it will speak and it will not lie. The vision would always speak to itself when it comes to speak for itself when it comes to pass. So you don't need someone to validate what God has already showed you, because it will speak for itself when it comes to pass, whether they believe you or not. You got to understand that the vision will come to pass by your faith. That's what I love about God. It's according to my faith, not somebody else's faith. It's not covered to my mother's faith, my father's faith, my friend's faith. It's Habakkuk 2:2. It's not according what God is going to do in my life, Ebony, and what God is going to do in your life is according to your faith. The Bible tells us that over and over again, according to your faith. So people don't have to see it. They don't have to believe in it. They don't have to support you in it, but it's according to your faith. That's how it will be manifested. So you have to continue to stand in faith and know that what God showed you, it shall come to pass. Because a lot of times you will be the only one standing still believing in the vision. Because let me tell you, you can start off with 20 people believing in the vision, but by the time you get to almost the end, you look back and everybody gone. Why? Because a lot of people drop off in the process. And so you gotta understand that where you going, it don't take a whole bunch of people to believe. You got to understand, Ebony, that it's just you and Jesus. All I got to do is have faith, and God is going to bring it to pass. And so that's what you have to stand on, that God is going to bring this vision to pass. I told someone today, and it's a little off topic, but I was sharing somebody today. I said, when I first got saved, we would go to a lot of conferences, right? And people would get like a prophetic word and stuff. And I would tell them, I could be like 8 of us sitting at the table and everybody get a prophetic word but me. And I used to be like, wow, this is crazy. So then I would go to another, we would go to conferences and stuff. And it seemed like everywhere I go, people would get prophetic words all around me and they would literally skip over me and I never would get one. So I had got to the point I got used to not getting a prophetic word. So it didn't even bother me no longer. Years later, this is what God told me. And I only shared it with, I think I showed somebody today. So that's 2 people. But years later, God told me this. He said, I never let you receive a prophetic word. He said, because a prophetic word is for confirmation, not validation. He said, and you were looking to be validated on what I had already told you. He said, so that's why I didn't allow you to receive a prophetic word. He said, I had to deal with the validation issue. I had to deal with the issue of you wanted people to validate you. Because when you walk in a spirit where you want people to validate you, which that is a fruit of rejection, you want people to validate you on what God says. And so until I was able to say, God, I believe what you said, I don't need others to, because God never needs a cosigner. God never needs someone to co-sign for you. Co-sign for him. Yes, he'll send somebody to confirm what he has already said, but he don't need nobody to co-sign for him. And so now God allows me to receive prophetic words, but it was years he wouldn't. Why? I'm going to say it again. Because in my heart, which I did not know, I was looking for validation. I was looking for them to validate what God had already told me. And so God had to get that in order. Why? Because he said that a prophetic word is for confirmation and not validation. There we go.
And if I even just had to add this, EB too, is even while the Misswood coach was saying that, even being mindful of, or even just being mindful and using wisdom on who we share the vision with.
Good. That's good.
Like, we got to be so mindful, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. Be mindful and pray about it. God, can I share this with that person? Can I be able to talk? Y'all, this is what you got to do in this season. It's not that it's churchy. Listen, you got to protect the vision at all costs.
Yeah.
Because the enemy does not want that vision to go forward, because not only is the vision going to bless you, but it's going to bless other people that's attached to you. Yeah. And it's going to keep carrying on, which is going to cause for other people to receive the vision for themselves. And it just keeps going. And it's just blessings after blessings. So you have to use wisdom and be mindful and ask God, can I share this with so-and-so? This person I consider as my best friend. This person I consider as a person that's close to me. Can I share this with them? And God, a lot of times, y'all, God is going to tell you what it is that he need to tell you. So be prepared when you ask God certain questions, because he is going to reveal whatever it is you're asking. So if he tells you, no, you cannot share this with this person, usually, coach, I ask God why. And it's not why that I'm questioning him. I like to have a better understanding. So if I ask God and I say, hey, God, can I share this with so-and-so? Can I share this with Susie Q? I'm going to just use Susie Q. I hope you ain't on here. But can I share this with Susie Q? And God is going to say no. And I say, God, why can't I share this with Susie Q? Because we've been rocking since childhood. And God is going to say, because her heart is not for you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
God is going to reveal the people who is really for you. And see, here it is. When you are moving forward in vision, this is why you do got to pay attention to who's around you. You have to pay attention to who you're showing or telling the vision to, because there are people that are along the way that don't want to see you move forward. They don't want to see you progress, because when God begins to shift some things, when God begins to turn some things up in your life, some people were used to you being at a certain level. Some people were used to you not having anything. Some people were used to you with having that poverty mindset. But when God begins to stir some things up, when God is saying, I'm taking you from one place to this place, because the Bible tells us we go from glory to glory, then people get comfortable with where you're at. And so now they say, wait a minute, she moving different. She acting different. Certain things is taking place. Certain things is happening for her. I see something on her, not realizing it's the glory of God, not realizing it's the anointing on God, the anointing that God has given you. And so some people cannot even handle you in the season where God is molding and shaping you. Some people can't handle your transformation.
That's good. That's good.
Some people just can't, because they're used to seeing a broken side of you. And I'm not saying this is EB. The people were used to see the broken side of you. They're used to seeing certain sides of you. So now when God comes to this place of making you whole, when God is healing you, when God is blessing you, some people just can't handle it, because their spirit is not with God. It's not in alignment. So now they're coming against the vision. They're causing distractions. They're causing for you to be discouraged, where now you're questioning God. Well, God, now because this person has said something and they laughed at me. Come on, was it not Noah who God gave a vision to and told him to build the boat?
No, yeah.
He told him, why? Because rain is coming. And guess what was happening? People was like, where the rain coming? We ain't never had rain. All this other stuff. They were talking.
Yes.
Noah did, this is a perfect illustration. Noah kept building. Noah kept listening to what God said. He listened to what God said. He did not listen to what the people were saying, because what the people were saying, they were saying, we ain't had no rain. You want us to what you talking about, building a boat, building all this thing? No, because God gave him the vision, because he knew that the other people, because of the stuff they was doing, he knew that they couldn't handle the vision. They couldn't complete the vision. So this is the reason why we got to be like Noah. God, you telling us to do this. You telling us to be strategic. You're telling us to move this way. I'm going to do it. And if I got to share it along the way, God, show me who I can share it to. God, reveal this person's heart. Where if you got 15 people in your circle, hey, God, reveal all 15. Because I need to know, is there a Judas in my circle? Is there somebody who don't want to see me win? Is there somebody who's going to come in and try to distort the vision of God? Who is it, Lord? Did somebody get sent by the enemy in my circle? These are questions you got to ask when you're dealing with the vision of God. Because I'm telling you, these are things that's going to come up. Did somebody try to come in and snatch the vision? Come on here. You're probably on here stealing people's visions, stealing people's ideas, and stealing things of that. You can't steal what God has gave somebody. Because you may try to get a little glimpse of it, and you may try to copy it, you may try to duplicate it, but it's not the original, because original holds weight. Original has something that is more valuable than something that is duplicated.
That's good.
So be mindful. Be mindful of what you share. Be mindful of who you're speaking to, because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, y'all, there is, when you're going through transition, when you're going through a place where God is pruning you and molding you, if people that are around you are not on the same accord, not saying they got to be with the same vision, but if they're not with God, if they're not walking with God, I'm telling you, things are going to be exposed. People's hearts, people's motives are going to be exposed.
Yeah. And this is what I gotta tell you. Y'all need to lean in and get this word right here. I've carried this word right here for years. Y'all just probably never heard me say it. But there are people who they are called dream killers.
Ooh!
There are such people called dream killers, and they kill dreams. And so you have to be aware of dream killers. It's not to be afraid, it's not to be scared, but dream killers. And they're called dream killers. There are some people you would share the vision with, and they would tear it down from the beginning. You got to understand that a lot of people don't have the faith that you have. They don't have the vision that you have. They don't have the gift and the talents you have. So they can't even understand the vision. They can't understand why you don't want to just be an employee, but you want to be an entrepreneur. They don't understand that. They don't understand why you're not comfortable with receiving $1,000 a month and you talking millions. Why? Because they can't even contain the capacity of where God is taking you. And so you got to understand that dream killers do exist. And when I think of dream killers, I think of Joseph's brothers, that he was telling them the dream and they tried to kill him. They tried to prevent what God had showed him in the dream. They tried to prevent it from coming to pass in Joseph's life. And we know how that story ended. But you got to understand, they are called dream killers. So that's why she was right on point when she said you cannot share the vision with everyone, because everybody cannot comprehend the vision. Everybody can be able to receive the vision. Their faith is not even big enough for the vision. You got to understand, because it takes major faith.
Come on.
To have great things take place in your life. So if you're talking to somebody with little faith and you're showing them the big vision that God has showed you, of course they're not going to be able to see it. Why? Because they operating with little faith, and some of them have no faith. So they can't even see it. And so that leads me back to when God said about validation. Sometimes we're telling people stuff because we want them to still validate what God has said or shown us. And so there are some people, like she said, you have to pray about it. There are some things God will not allow you to release till it's manifested. Because there are some things that God wants to do in secret, that you don't need words. Because my grandmother taught me years ago, she said, don't tell everybody everything, because some people will speak against what you're doing. See, because we know that there's life and death in the power of the tongue. Now, even though you may not speak it, they standing and speaking against the vision that you're trying to build. So there are some people you cannot tell these things to. And so you just have to be mindful. It's not that you keeping secrets, but there's some things I cannot reveal right now, but it shall speak for itself when it comes to pass. Just wait and see. Some of me, like, I'll be like, just wait and see. Just wait and see. So you have to get to that place where it's like, yeah, there are such people called dream killers. And I'm done for the night. Dream killers. Yeah, dream killers.
And not only that, but let me add this before we close this out. Because you said, Coach, you said there's things God won't allow you to say. He won't reveal it until it's done, until it's finished. And so pay attention to when you do finish that dream, when you finish that vision, when you finish whatever it is God has called you to do, and he told you don't share it with nobody, don't tell it to nobody, don't reveal it to nobody. When you begin to share that thing, okay, pay attention to people responses.
Yeah.
Pay attention to, oh my God, pay attention to how people respond to when the vision is completed, to when the goal is completed. Because let me tell you this, if you share this with somebody and you tell them and you show them, listen, look, this is what God did. Look at this, look at that, look at that. Pay attention to how they respond. Because if they respond with joy, if they respond where they so happy for you, I mean, like, okay, I know you didn't tell me all the details, but I'm happy for you. That's the type of people you keep around. But when they begin to show themselves and you tell them, hey, this is this and this has happened, and they like, wait, why you didn't tell me? They salty over you completing a vision that God gave you and that God told you that nobody else needs to know about. If they begin to be salty, God is showing you their true motives. He is showing you their heart, even in the midst of the vision being completed.
What did I tell you? Do you remember what I told you last week?
About
how your heart posture matters.
Yes.
When it comes to celebrating other people.
Yes, we talked about that. Yes.
What did I say? Because I don't remember.
That's what you said. You said that matters because God pays attention to that. Because I was saying, like, I was saying that I want to be known for celebrating people. Like when that time comes and God calls me home, I want people to say MK was the type of person that celebrated you. See, she celebrated your vision. She celebrated your dreams. I say everything, of course, that goes into what God said, okay? Because I ain't celebrating some stuff that God didn't put his name on it. I ain't celebrating some stuff God was like, nah, and you way left field, okay? Let me clarify that. Disclaimer, sidebar, fine print. I'm going to celebrate what God has given you. I'm going to celebrate what God has done in your life. And so I told Coach that, and I said, I want to be known to celebrate people for their accomplishments, to celebrate people for whatever it is God has done for them. And that's how we got on the topic of God pays attention to that. God pays attention to our heart posture.
To the heart, right?
He pays attention to, are you celebrating them? Are you happy for them? Or is it the fact that when God blesses them, God does a thing, and now you salty, now you in your feelings. Why couldn't be me, God? I was waiting longer than them. Why this couldn't happen for me, God? And you start that your heart is being exposed. God always pays attention to our responses in the waiting period. That's good. That was it. He pays attention. And I told Coach this, I said, even if it's not my season, if it's just not my season where doors are being opening, if it's not my season where things are happening for me, if it's just not my season, that does not matter to me because I'm still going to celebrate somebody. I'm still going to congratulate them because maybe, God, I'm just not ready for the door. Maybe, God, I'm just not ready for the opportunity. So once again, God, deal with me. Yeah. God, show me. Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, it's the heart posture that will cause for God to say, hey, I saw how you celebrated.
I think I said that it would cause for God to pass you over. Didn't I say something like that?
You said that. You said because God pays attention to our hearts. And if we're not rooting for that person, if we're not happy for that person, God sees that. And you said God will pass over you. Yep. He will pass over you because of your posture is not right. Your posture is all wrong.
Because sis, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I told you that. I said I learned years ago and how if God is blessing somebody in my circle, I get excited. And the reason I get excited is because that's showing me that God is in the neighborhood. So I've learned to celebrate people. Why? Because I'm celebrating them for their accomplishment. I'm really, truly happy for them, but it excites me because he's in the neighborhood. Because if he did it for my friend, he'll do it for me because his Bible, his word says that he's no respecter of person. So I'm excited because if he blessing them, then he means he's in the neighborhood. He's going to bless me. So what happens is when you see them getting blessed, are you excited for them truly? Because God knows you can say that you're excited, but your heart is so far away from what you're speaking.
Come on.
Because God knows the heart. So your heart matters when it comes to celebrating others. Even, oh my goodness, even though you ain't had the breakthrough, but I'm able to celebrate you in your breakthrough. See, all of that matters. Why? Because in your heart, are you really joyous for that person?
Come on.
Because if your heart is not right, you will miss God's in the neighborhood. He will pass right over you. And sometimes people are wondering, why did it miss me? Because maybe your heart wasn't right. So let me tell you, your heart has to be right when it comes to celebrate even others people's vision comes to pass. Yes. Knowing that you are waiting on your own vision.
Yes.
And I was also taught, we got to get off. I was also taught that when God sends you to help somebody else build their vision, you go and you do your best. Because when you help somebody else build their vision, God is going to do it for you.
Yes.
It may not be yours, but I'm here to help you give birth. I'm here to help you give birth to what God has put inside of you. And I'm excited for you because I'm excited for what's happening in your life.
Yes.
It's according to your heart posture.
Yes.
Your heart posture has to be right. Be able to receive what God has for you. That's all I got to say. That's all I got.
Because God pays attention to it all. So
can you clap for me when it ain't you on the stage? Can you clap for me when I get my breakthrough? Can you celebrate me when this is happening in my life? All that matters. And people don't realize that stuff matters.
Yes.
Or do you only clap when it's happening for you?
Yes. Oh, that's that selfish, prideful spirit where it's just me. That's why, come on, we got to get healed. We got to get delivered. We got to get free. Because I'm telling you, when I see other people, I'm like, oh, I be so excited. And she be laughing at me because when things happen for her, like anybody, I get excited. Because like you said, God is in the neighborhood. God is moving. God is right there. So I get excited. I'm like, oh, you tell me, like, people really be thinking like I'm tripping, but I'm literally excited because I see what God is doing. When I see God moving and God blessing people, I always say, God, yes. Like you doing that, God. Like, I'm so happy, Lord, that you be blessing your children. Like, I really be talking to God like that. And like, God, I'm so happy you blessing your children. God, they hearing you, God, they moving in the vision, they moving in this, they moving in that. Like, I'll be on the back end, y'all, literally celebrating you because God is like, and when I see it, I'm like, he's showing this, he's doing this, he's doing that. I'm like, yeah, God, like, yeah, that's my God. That's my God.
That's my daddy right there.
That's my daddy, yo. Come on here.
But when you say that, we keep saying we got to get off. But Lupe made me think of something because she says, you know, I'm gonna make because I'm gonna come live with y'all. But remember when I told you this, I said, you have to. It doesn't matter. This is me, y'all. It doesn't matter who gets there first.
Come on, say it.
Wait, one of us get there. Because if your heart is right, because like me, if I get there first, I'm gonna turn around and bring you with me. So it don't matter, see, because I'm not in a competition. But what I do know, somebody out of this circle need to get there. Somebody out of this circle need to get there. So it don't matter who gets there first. Just turn around and bring somebody else out of the
Come on here.
Just turn around and bring your other sister that's behind you. Just turn around, bring that other one that open the door. When somebody open the door for you and you get in there, turn around and open the door for somebody else. That's what you do. That's how we all, because how I look at it, I'm kingdom, you kingdom, we doing this for the kingdom. So it don't matter who get there first. Oh, baby, it don't matter. I ain't jealous. Somebody need to get there, though. That's what I do know. Somebody need to get there. And that's how you got to feel in your heart. Yes. I don't care if you get there before me. Just turn around and come back and get me.
Come on.
I don't care because you can swim the water faster than me. It don't matter. Just get a boat and come back and get me.
Come on here. Just come back and get me.
Tread the water. You get to the sea. You get to the shore. Come back and get me with the boat.
And that's real talk, y'all. Period. Come back and get the next person. Because that could be the reason why some of us are not being answered with certain things, because God knows our heart that we will not go back and get somebody else.
Yeah,
that good. We will not go back and help the next person. So that's why I always say, pray and ask God, deal with me. Because he knows that some of you, y'all gonna scratch your shoulder. I ain't helping nobody. Where was everybody at with this? Where was this? You making it about yourself. Because remember, this is kingdom. This is for the kingdom. The kingdom of God got to be advanced. So even if you don't go back and get your brother and your sister, God gonna send somebody else to go get them. And guess what? They gonna keep being blessed. They gonna keep being blessed. And God gonna keep opening doors because he knows that they gonna go back and get the next person while you gonna shrug your shoulder, while you gonna act like you entitled for this thing. Come on, ain't nobody entitled for nothing.
That's good.
So God already gonna know, hey, I can't even bless this person with this because she gonna act bougie as I don't know what. She ain't gonna want to hear nothing. She gonna be whole brand new, like none of that. So God already know.
And I want
to back and get
to say this.
Oh, your brother.
Because when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about Joseph with the baker and the butler. And I'm thinking about how it was the butler, right?
It was the butler that was supposed to come back to him.
But he remembered him 2 years later. I don't care. He still remembered him.
He still remembered them.
And I remember God told me, he said, there's going to be somebody that make it and they're going to remember you.
Yes. See, this is why you got to, we get on some other stuff, but this is why you got to make sure your character is right.
Yeah.
This is why you got to make sure you are right as a person, because when they remember you and they put you in these rooms and they can vouch for you. This come on here. Okay, we got to get off because we're going to something.
That goes back to what he did for him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. I'm in prison, but I'm helping you.
Yes.
I'm in prison, but I'm prophesying and telling you your dream, but I'm in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So Joseph, I got to preach on that. Joseph got outside of himself. We both in prison. Joseph could have been like, man, I'm up in here too. I don't feel like doing all that. But Joseph,
interpreting your dream.
Somebody else to do. Joseph went beyond himself. And do you see how that opened the door for him?
Come on.
I don't care if it was 2 years later, it happened.
Come on.
But do you see how he got outside of himself?
Mm-hmm.
Did something for somebody else. He watched that man walk up out the he watched that man walk up out the prison. Yeah. He watched him. He left. Joseph was still there in prison, but he left.
Mm-hmm.
So he watched him. He watched him. Oh my goodness, girl. He watched him get his breakthrough, while Joseph still needed a breakthrough.
Ooh,
he watched the man that he did his dream. He watched him get his breakthrough before him. 2 years later, that man remembered him. I'm done.
Let's go. Blessed him. Y'all, tell y'all, it's scripture what we talk about, not even realizing it. It's scripture to back it up, y'all. So we love y'all. I pray and I hope that this bless y'all. Okay, like it bless y'all
for like 2 hours.
Like it ain't even been 2 hours. Cut it out. Cut it out. Okay, but go ahead, continue to share, y'all. Tag some people. This was really, really good, right? EB, come on here. Private jets, shopping sprees. Call me. No,
wasn't that a song? That was a song. That's what you was going to sing the song?
No, honestly, I was not remembering no song. Like, I was just saying it. You know, I always got to try to sing something. But
that's awesome. That's awesome, Shashan.
For real. I'm glad it blessed y'all. Like, that's what we do. At the end of the day, remember, we always we want y'all to level up. And tonight episode, it was fire. Tonight episode was filled with so many, as Coach say, golden nuggets. Okay, it was amazing. And y'all just continue to do what God called y'all to do. Don't lose sight of the vision. Hopefully, y'all took some notes or grabbed little pieces of whatever it may be that you may need. And you can always go back and even just catch the replay. And if you are catching the replay, go ahead and comment #replay, y'all. But we love y'all. Don't forget, if you do want to be on, because I know we have a couple of
on there. I'll put it in there, but you gotta say it again because it's gone now.
Don't forget, you guys. So we are actually extending for someone to come on with us. What was it? September. Okay, so you have a deadline of September 5th. Okay, so what that means is we are actually extending for someone to come on with us. Okay, so for you to come on with us, we're going to have a topic. You're going to join in and talk. So you can go ahead if you are interested and you want to be on camera, not with your bond and all the other stuff. Okay, if you want to come on camera.
You got to be on camera. Camera got to be on.
Camera got to be on. Okay, because I ain't going to say what I was going to say. Okay. Listen, you gotta go ahead and submit to levelup1322@gmail.com. Okay. So if you want to be on the episode, remember you have up until September 5th. We'll also go ahead and post it too on the page for those two throughout the week or whatever. No, Ayan, you cannot wear your bonnet. Okay. This is not coming live. Bonnet episode. No, we're not doing that. So go ahead, y'all. If you do want to be on, we would love to have one of you guys on with us, y'all, to do the laughing, joking, but also being serious. So that way we can continue to push people to level up. So once again, you can submit it if you are inquiring and that's something that you, I'm not going to play with you, Aya. If that's something that you want to do, please go ahead and send us that email, levelup1322@gmail.com.
That's
okay,
good.
we look forward to your Bibles and bonnets. Wait a minute.
That's
Yes.
kind of catchy. That's catchy.
I know. That's what I said. Wait a minute. That's kind of catchy.
That's kind of catchy.
Baby, come bring your bonnets. Go ahead and bring your bling
That's
out
kind of
bonnets.
catchy.
You got Swarovski crystals. You got lace. You got the ribbon bonnets.
I bet you they'll show us. We probably get a whole bunch of views.
Right. Bibles and bonnets. Like, what in the shenanigans is this? Listen here.
That's an early morning show. That's like something we'll do like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like an early morning midnight show.
Count me out. You talking about 5 in the morning?
Okay, we gotta get out here. Have my little curls. Put the bonnet like got some curls.
No, count me out if you talking about 5 o'clock in the morning.
No, whatever. Okay, let's go.
You know, you the early bird. I'm the night owl, y'all. She the early bird. We like
okay. Let's go.
Opposite.
Let's go.
Okay, so once again, we love y'all. Continue to share.
Bye.
And we will be back on next week. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Look, I'm over here reading. Evie, I'm up.
What happened?
No, listen, y'all. Okay, we ain't about to do all this, y'all. She said, MK, don't act like you don't be up praying. Listen, I'll be up at the time God be calling me.
We gotta go.
Whether it's 2, 3, but I don't mean I'm gonna be up on camera. See, there's a difference. You're gonna be on camera with the bonnet on and everything. She'll be on a high level energy. I'm gonna be looking like, so what we talking about?
We're gonna do a midnight run or something.
Now, see, now we can do that there.
I grew up in the midnight. We late in the midnight hour.
But I don't think it would be bonnets at that point.
We gotta come on at midnight.
Let's do Bibles and bandanas. How about that? Bibles and bandanas if we're gonna be up at midnight. Okay, because at midnight, hey now, okay, no, we gotta go. If we're gonna do that, y'all, I can do that. See, I can do midnight. I can't do no 5 in the morning. We got come on, gotta meet me somewhere.
Okay, we gotta go.
Bibles and bandanas. Come on, put it in there. Let's do a poll. No, I'm just playing. Okay, y'all, we gotta go.
Y'all have an amazing week. See y'all next Tuesday.
See y'all later.
Bye.